But what a patient feels is what we call in palliative care total pain. Total pain is something other than or only partially caused by the actual painful stimulus. It's also amplified by psychosocial or psychological problems. It's worsened by social issues that are negative impact, like isolation or bad relationships. And then there's spiritual things like just feelings of guilt or meaninglessness. And when we look at that, all of that causes the pain, the total pain the patient has, or let's call that suffering. Okay, so pain may be the cause of the original the stimulus may be the cause of the pain, but a lot of other things cause the suffering. And oftentimes it's a story, right? It's the story that goes with the pain that causes more and more suffering. I'll give you an example. I have one patient many years ago, a good friend of ours actually, who every time he had prostate cancer, his system was riddled with it. And I would go and visit him in bed and in his room, and he'd have his music on, and he'd be praying or talking to other people. He was a very social person. He was a baseball ump. He was a great guy, and he felt so little pain. We hardly had to do anything for him. He had disease through all his bones. I talked to the internist after he died, and he says, after they did his autopsy, they had no idea how he could not feel anything. Like, this man seriously did not feel much pain. And other times, I have patients who have very minimal disease, and yet their pain and suffering is terrible. It can be a loss of relationship. It could be a loneliness. It could be many other factors within their life, internally and externally, which are causing this suffering to occur. It's the story that surrounds the pain that makes that pain so much worse, and the suffering, therefore, increases.